Great peace, great peace, great peace, Shakoki. So, I made this statement to a doctor, and I also made this statement, a black doctor, female, right? And I also made this statement to an astrophysicist. Now, we all know who the astrophysicist is. It's Neil deGrasse Tyson. I said this, right? I said, if everybody in the world went vegan, the planet Mercury will decrease in size. It will get smaller. And say we keep being vegan, we keep being vegan. You know, no blood is involved. No death is involved. No karma is involved. No pain is involved, right? You slaughtering the animal, right? This energy that orbits in a bubble, right? It grows, right? It's like a cyst on your arm. It grows. You know, this planet-sized bubble, right? Mercury, it would decrease in size. It will dissolve. It will disappear. And what you will see is that you won't see any more murder on Earth or any other planets where there's life forms. You won't see it. And I said that statement. I thought long and hard about it. I said that statement, right? And I really believe that. I really believe that. You know, that goes into also, you know, with the notion you have attorneys who are in Western states, you know, liberal. They're fighting to have schools disband teenagers from being transitioned without consent, you know. So that's why I made that statement also to that doctor. You know, she's a black doctor, and you know, like, I'm outside right now, you know, I don't have a shirt on, you know, I'm in my yard, right? And I'm letting the sun touch my heart. I'm letting the sun touch my chest. That's important. Like, our people, it'd be 90 degrees outside and we go outside with shirts. That's one thing I can say about Chicago, is that when it got hot, when people went outside, they didn't wear shirts, you know. And you see Minnesota, they's ushering this in where they're saying they're going to allow women to walk around topless, you know. But I didn't read the particular bill, but I would like to know, like, what's in that particular bill that makes it so unisexual, right? You know, is it just something that they're pandering to feminists, or, you know, what is that really about? And again, like, when we even see our thoughts, right, they're preceded and they're also interceded, right, through our actions, where we gorge off blood, you know, like when we eat things that we're not supposed to eat, right? So you see, like, my yard is full of, you know, wheatgrass right now. It's full of wheatgrass. You literally can chop them down, take them inside the house, and mill it. Blend it, right? You can mill it. Drain it out and make a flour. Get some olive oil, put it in a skillet. Now you have some flatbread, some chapati. That's something you literally can do. And, like, imagine if we had open markets in our cities. Like, we can literally go outside and sell some of the stuff that we have growing in our yards. That's what we used to do. We live on farms. Like, no matter the size of it or whatever, like, you live on a farm. If you live anywhere, you live on a farm. Even if you live in a tenement, you have a hydroponic farm. You live in a house, you have a hydroponic farm. You know, so I am, you know, I'm wondering, man, because, like, there's a lot of energy on the planet right now, and we have to be very, very careful. You know what I mean? I'm glad that Aquarius isn't getting any of those energies. I'm glad of that. You know, Aquarius right now, it's free from any orbits, you know, like, it's free. on the Hindu charts. On the Hindu charts, it's free. So I'm glad about that. Cause like I'm thinking, you know what I mean? Like I'm able to think clear now. Down there, Aquarius is free. So I don't know how long it's going to be free, but I'm hoping that all Aquarius, man, they do not, do anything that would mess up that shape and form. And also, I want to say this. When you think about choosing a mate, right? Because I know a lot of people think this, right? And this is just me speaking from the information that I get from the galaxy. Um, People say, why am I having a child with a woman who doesn't look like me? Or why am I having a child with a man who doesn't look like me, right? You got to remember, the solarium, right? It releases energy. So you got to think, why are we internalizing things that don't matter, like what's on the external? What matters is that you match with those who are physicists, right? Because physicists is just mind and thought. It's nothing physical about it, So don't necessarily think about how a person looks, and I know a celebrities, they really understand this. This is why you see the NBA players, they date out, so they're worried about energy. They're not worried about physical appearance because they know something. When you leave this form, you're going to come back to someone else, So you have to think, you have to account into the fact, how am I bettering my mental? How am I bettering my cycle? How am I bettering my psyche? You know what I mean? So when you're able to do that, right, you're not paying attention to the outer appearance, even though that can be disturbing. But that's the qualms of living life, right? That's the qualms. You have to figure that out for yourself, right? Because there's no right and wrong. There's only do. You see what I mean? So when you do invoke karma, right, you have to figure out how to get out of that situation, whether it's physical or mental. And mental just means outer space. You can literally bleach your body to another color if you wanted to, if you had the right the chemistry and solution. You can be purple if you wanted to. You can change the mechanisms of your bone structure, right? With the chemistry and the solution. A solvent. This is why I always have this right here with me. I have this right here with me all the time to remind me of who I am. This right here. Nibium. That's the 14th element, Nibium. You always have elements on you. Always. Always. You always have elements on you. Because you don't know what energy is going to greet you once you walk outside your home. You don't know what energy is going to greet you once you leave your country. You don't know what energy is going to greet you when it comes to your country. You don't know. This is why you always need elements on you. So if you see a person that's lacking this, you walk past them and they greet you, say, "Oh, hello. I'm glad. I didn't know." You knew it was from the elements you had on you. They was lacking that element. When they picked up your sense, whatever sense it was, your sight, your smell, your touch, this energy right here, it radiated, and they got it. So that's all you really need to know, man. It's like, take time to think. When you think, you invent. Look for that I word. Remember, we're Irish. Look for that I word. That I in think, that I in event, same word. Great peace, Yakoki.